Okay, hello again, everyone. So, as promised, now I have the entire build a figure of the Condiment King. We'll go ahead and build him. And of course, if you're unfamiliar with this, with the Mcfarlane Batman Animated Series line, it came with a build a figure. So, Batman came with Condiment King's arms and hands. Robin with the torso, with the legs and lower torso, and Scarecrow with the upper torso and the Condiment King's head, and Mr. Freeze with the Condiment King's condiment pack, I guess is what I call it, with the ketchup and mustard gun. And I don't know, this character is so obscure. I think this is the first time that the character even had its own action figure, and I guess that's the point of like a build a figure, is that you kind of create a BAF for someone so obscure. And now that I'm just looking at the detailing here, well, let's assemble him first, and then before we do the review. Now, I've seen a few assembling videos of this, and what they recommend is to do this with the torso first, right? And hopefully I don't break anything in real time. Okay. Okay, that went well. And then from the videos that I've seen, it's recommended to do the backpack first before you do the arms, or else you wouldn't be able to slip in the arms. So we'll do that. There are like pegs, right, that support the backpack. And I think they also kind of snap in there, snugly in place. And make sure that I have the correct arm. Come on, Mcfarlane, don't let me down. Shoot. It's a little bit tight. There we go. Snapped in place. And then the other one. It's a little bit laborious. It's taking a lot of energy from me, and I'm just making sure I don't break the peg. It's a little bit more challenging. Maybe I should try and blow dry this. Okay, so that was a little bit challenging. The right arm, or I guess his right, rather specifically, was a little bit challenging. So I urge you to be careful because it might break off the peg. Now, what I didn't have to use a blow dryer. What I did was I used like one of like the pens to sort of like loosen the peg hole, and then I used like my Leatherman sort of like pry tool just to make sure that it's aligned. I think it's easier when you, because sometimes the peg would be like at a diagonal. I think it's easier if you do that on a horizontal, and then inserted it once you've loosened that with a pen. So here he is now, the Condiment King. What can I say? I mean, the guy is excuse me, the guy is like unique. He has like a pickle. I think this is a cucumber or pickle face mask. Must be a pickle because it's a condiment, right? And he has this mustard and ketchup gun. Let's put that in there. I mean, the string here. I mean, really, the cord of his condiment gun is just a string, which is, I think that works out well. So it doesn't get in the way. Like I can't imagine it being made out of rubber. But he is kind of loose. This is going to sound bad. He is kind of loose on the underwear. But there is some sort of like a bendiness here, which is okay. His knees are, yeah, so they're okay. I think they're double jointed. Yeah, they are. And there's some articulation also at the ankle. Um, Head swivels. I think there's a little bit. Yeah, he has a he can nod. Um, yeah, I just don't think that he has a wrist articulation. But come on, like there's only there's only so much limited posability that you'd want the Condiment King to pose as, and I don't know. I have no idea. I have no background on the Condiment King apart from the fact that I've seen an episode of him, and he was one of the judges at a stand-up comedy contest that the Joker I think used the Mad Hatter or Jarvis tech uh, Tetch's tech to render all of these judges kind of like take on some super villain, like some hilarious uh, costumes and personas. And the Condiment King is like the first one that Batman had to stop. Um, so, but I forget. I absolutely forget what his name is, his real name, and I know he's like a judge at a competition. So that's as far as my knowledge goes of the Condiment King. Um, but I do like these are ketchup packets, right? Um, and the detail of those ketchup packets. I mean, I think they're actually like pegged in there. See, that one is like individually. I think they're individually like um, pegged in there, which is impressive. See, that's the amount of detailing that I'm talking about, right? Like you don't usually see that in some of the more you know um, commercially available toys, right? And I like it. I mean, Condiment King, you know what? Props to him. Even though if he's like a very unknown quote unquote villain, because he was being mind controlled, so I don't think I can classify him as a villain. It's one of those things that is just nice to look on the shelf just for comedic reasons, right? Um, yeah, I mean, this is like one of the silliest designs that I've ever seen, and it fits the bill. I mean, you know, who else? I think also, uh, I think Condiment King. I think the animated series made him uh, like that was a background of the character, but I think there was actually, and I need to do a little bit more research on this because I've read some of it online that he was actually originating back in the 60s and 70s. Now I'm not sure if that's part of the 1966 Batman, but I know that he also was a character. Like DC made it's not a series, but he appeared in some issues. And he is kind of like his mo was really to use condiments as as a weapon, and I think part of that is that he teamed up. I don't know. I think he teamed up with like one of the Batman villains. I don't know. I forget whether it was the Scarecrow or like Poison Ivy to make his condiments more potent or something like that. Um, but I vaguely remember that. But anyway, I hope that BAF demonstration was useful, and I hope for those of you who have collected the series line that you don't have any problems with assembling the Condiment King. Like I said, he's a funny enough character, um, uh, deserving of his own action figure. Maybe not, but I like it. So there you go. I mean, it's the Condiment King. Catch up later.